Justin Timberlake, the 2020 Experience, Part 2. I intended to make a video since the Jay-Z one, but being on vacation and school and college and everything in between has stopped me from doing so. But I did want to make a video about this album because the first part was one of my favorites of this entire year, if not the favorite. It was one of the best pop albums I've ever heard. So I've been anticipating this one's release for over 6 months, and the first one just struck me with just decisive, distinct flavors in every single song. They did go on for 8 minutes, but every single track on part 1 of the 2020 Experience had its own flavor, and the best feature to me was how Justin Timberlake used his voice as an additional instrument, like how high he would go on Strawberry Bubblegum to fit in with the theme of that song, etc., etc. This anticipated album, like so many others this year, to me have been a big disappointment. And that individuality that the songs on part 1 possessed is what's really lacking here. You know how I like to go in a really specific detail, maybe too much detail, when I talk about songs on an album, but for this video I don't even think I have to do that, because for the most part it's the same formula. And this is what I was worried of when I heard that Justin Timberlake would be releasing 2 albums in the same year. The only group who's pulled that off well recently was Death Grips last year with 2 great albums. But these songs do not feature the change of pace that songs from part 1 had, where maybe halfway, a quarter of the way, whatever, through the song, the beat would change up, the rhythm would change up, the theme would change, something. There was some kind of diversity there to keep these songs that spanned 8 minutes plus interesting for the entire time. On part 2, usually you can listen to the first minute of the song and predict what the next 7 or 6 minutes are going to be. Songs on here range from boring, not fully thought out, to downright corny, like that second track, True Blood or something, or some werewolf reference, where the melody sounds like it was taken straight from a Disney Halloween special. And I can't even remember what the hook from True Blood was, but the song was that hook repeated for 9 brutal minutes. The only song on this album that I thought had any flavor was Amnesia, but the only reason I really even liked that was because it had a different feel than the entire rest of the album, and it brought back some of part 1's elements into it. I don't know. It is a pretty crappy comeback video, but I don't feel like I have anything else to say about the 2020 Experience Part 2. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 10. If you listen to it, what would you give it out of 10? I might come up with a Danny Brown review soon for Old, but knowing me, it could take 4 months. So that's it for now.